Hey everybody, it's Stuvix here joined with Pyle as always. We are both amateur content creators looking at new journeys, I guess. So um, we're going to be just talking about some stuff going on in the gaming world today, some tech news, and some controversial topics probably. I'm gonna let Pyle take the first our first little foray into this. So start it off for us, Pyle.
Okay, so we did a little bit of looking, and we happened to see some things about uh, insurance claims, and we thought we would start it off with something a little bit funny and talk about this UK news story about VR insurance claim. So, for anybody tuning in, we plan on making this podcast about like tech and comedy and gaming and things like that, where we just shine a light on some things that we think are important in the gaming industry and we think are important in the tech industry, and know anything that can be funny or serious. We're just gonna shine a light on it and talk about it a little bit. But anyways, let's hop right into this one because this is pretty funny actually. But I'm looking at Daily Mail, and it was published yesterday at no, actually it was published at 9:03 today. So it looks to be, says here, Aviva said the average amount for VR related claims was 650 euros.
I think
Euros
it's
are,
pounds.
yeah, I was about to say, I think it's pounds, actually.
Because of Brexit.
Yeah, so 650 pounds. Wonder what the value of a pound translated to a dollar is. Let's do a comparison here. Pounds to dollar. So there's $1.36 to 1 British pound. So
Worth more.
let's see. We can do this 650, not 1650. And that's $479 in claims. So really? No. I don't know why it did that. Oh, it swapped them.
That's backwards.
Swapped them. Yeah, so hang on. 150. $881.80. That's what it is. So for 650 British pounds sterling, it is $881.82. As claims have surged by 30% in a year. So reading further into this, it looks like it's saying insurance claims relating to virtual reality headsets have surged 30% in the last year, according to provider Aviva. Claims have surged as VR gamers crash around their homes while immersed in other worlds. Gamers have crashed into their TV sets, tripped over coffee tables, smashed ornaments. When
Wait a second. There is an image here of a man punching a child in the face wearing the VR headset.
I saw a video the other day, and it was a mom wearing a VR headset, and her son walked into the middle of the living room and was like looking at her in the face, and like, he's sitting there like the whole like, waving his hand in her face, and I mean, absolutely got clocked, my guy. she reared back, and I mean, with the force of everything that lady had, just pounded him right in the face, dude, with VR controller in hand. And poor kid, man. He was probably 12. He had to be like 12 or 13 maybe. But yeah, he immediately just started bawling, and yeah, it was. I mean, I thought it was hilarious. Like, I mean, come on, dude. Like, you had to have known better. Like, she's not looking at you. She has no idea where you are, and you know that she can swing at any given moment. Like, it makes 100% total sense that you're gonna get your cheeks clapped. You walk
Yeah,
up in front of somebody.
there's some incredible pictures in this, and if anybody's interested in looking at these images or anything, we do have a flipboard. We started a magazine, and the link to the video is actually, or the link to those images is actually right there, easily obtainable. Um, they are freaking hilarious, though. Definitely worth a look.
Definitely worth a look. They're really good. I can actually. There's gonna be more than likely an upload to our Discord. Um, I will probably link the podcast, Pinterest, Facebook, more than likely Twitter. Um, where the name is Pile, and then we are definitely going to have a YouTube video up of the podcast, so be on the lookout for. But anyway, going a little bit further into this, I'm looking at an image right now of this dude just massively uppercutting his ceiling fan. I
Yeah,
mean, just
that was great.
like, like,
Haymaker,
absolutely. And it looks like in the background on the TV, it looks like that was the game-winning hit
right?
because you can see he's looking at another character in the game, and that character, I don't see his eyes open, and it looks like he's got some pretty good scuffs all over his face, like fat lips, red. I see a red spot. Maybe that's blood. Who knows? But yeah, it looks like he absolutely clobbered the dude. And then you see the next couple of photos here are him looking at the ceiling fan in disappointment, and like, man, how did that happen? Checking his hand out, making sure he's good to go. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Oh wow, yeah. See, I found the one of the kid getting clobbered.
Right?
Yeah, that's hilarious. And then you got
Yeah.
this Joker. What is? Oh no, that's a big TV to be wrecking your face into.
Fall face first, face plant.
Wow, dude.
What happens when you stand at the edge of a building in VR?
I'm I'm a little lost right now. I'm seeing. I'm. I see what you're saying there. Um, but I can't tell. It almost looks like he slipped out of his shoe.
Yeah, it looks like he tripped and fell so hard that he knocked his own shoes off. So
Just
a
one.
great way to go.
Just one shoe. He lost
Oh
one
yeah, he
shoe.
did. Just one shoe.
And you can see clearly he's got the left shoe on. And that's a dark gray sole. But on the right, it's a little bit blurry, but the color of a foot is there.
Just want to say that scrolling down to the next set of images, it looks like this boxing game is destroying everything. Also, that is PSVR right there. Those look like wands in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see the console anywhere, but I see the wands. I see the glowing globes sticking
Just
out of the top of
smash,
his hand, and
smash your
he just
face.
headbutts the shit out of that TV.
Man, 30% increase because of VR. This goes back to like 2006, maybe. I don't remember when the Wii came out, but
And
just the
apparently,
absolute
this is a
hilarity.
celebrity in this photo here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, apparently Liam Gallagher
Oh,
have run
nice.
afoul of the dangerous devices when attempting to use them.
They're not dangerous.
Yeah. But
I've
anyway,
never, I've never fallen or punched anything playing VR. I guess it depends on how far you get into it, man.
I'll tell you, I've never played VR.
Oh, I used to have the PlayStation VR. One of the best and worst experiences of my entire life was playing a horror game in VR.
Best and worst experiences of your life.
Just super immersive, a whole lot of fun, but pants shittingly terrifying.
Pants shittingly terrifying.
Hey, man. It's like
I'm
being
surprised you
stuck.
didn't break yourself trying to play that. Bro,
uh,
you get me in a game like that, and somebody, either me, a wall, or somebody else is going to get obliterated by one of my
just
shoulders.
Mike Tyson KO.
Yeah, like ask Glow, ask her. Like she's scared the shit out of me before, and I mean, I don't turn around swinging, but I'm quick to react. I will say that I'm very quick to react.
Right?
But kind of like her little fall to the ground defense mechanism.
Right.
She's really quick with that, but I come up behind her and start poking at her or something, and she'll just fall to the ground, like dive bomb the ground.
I'm sliding down in my seat for some reason.
I'm terrible about that. I do that all the time.
Are you
But
ready for the next one?
yes, yes. You gonna lead us into the next one?
I am, because this is something that I have like apparently it's pretty divisive, but I'm on the side of like hatred, just for NFTs. I mean, they're cool. There is some cool stuff that you can do with that. It does give people that are creating this online art the opportunity to sell it for what someone who's doing a traditional style painting could get paid for. But I don't think they have a place in video games, and it looks like a lot of people at Ubisoft, or however you say it. I've always called it Ubisoft. So that's what we're gonna do. I mean, if you follow gaming, you know that Ubisoft makes Assassin's Creed, a lot of other games, Far Cry. What it was, the Crew too, the Crew games, the racing games, which were a lot of fun. But it just says, Ubisoft. Pretty sure it was Ubisoft. Um, just released a statement saying that no one, just there's people, gamers just don't understand how important NFTs are for people. And with the great migration going on from Ubisoft anyway, it just seems like management is mishandling it. It even says here in the article, which we found on the street, which just talks about Bitcoin, cannabis, cryptocurrency, just all kinds of stuff. Um, says right here, seriously, our confidence in management was already shaken by the handling of these harassment cases, and now that we have this, so they're just taking the feedback. They take the encouragement and concerns, and they're just saying that players are going to benefit from this. So I know Pyle has a little bit different view on NFTs than I do.
I do.
So
I do. Let me get into that a little bit. And I'm not on the side of hatred with NFTs, not even in the slightest. And the reason I say that is because it is with a economy of continuously evolving um gears, I guess you could say, continuously evolving uh gears. We are seeing a lot of companies shift to a more technological stance on things, and what I mean by that is Walmart and self checkout. Walmart and self checkout. You've seen Target go to self checkout, and you just see far fewer employees actually working the front. And I'm not saying that there was massive layoffs or anything like that, but a lot of companies are going automation, and The reason I say that is because with so many jobs being done away with, this gives another opportunity for people to come in and make something where they may not have been able to make something beforehand. And um, but but this is what I do hate. What I do hate is the ease of access it has to create NFTs. I don't know a whole lot about the minting process, but I know that there's gas fees involved, and I know that there's like processing fees involved. But I've looked into making a few, just to be, because we're amateur content creators trying to get our names out there a little bit, quicker than the standard person. But the whole idea behind everything is the uh obviously when you take on a project like this and you take on a responsibility of something like this, you're looking for avenues to help boost uh consumer involvement. There you go, consumer involvement, whether it be our watchers, our readers, our listeners, whatever, whatever you do, whatever you're into, if you're listening to us on the road or if you're watching us on YouTube while you're sitting in the back seat on the road, it doesn't matter. Whatever you choose to do, it was an idea to get our name out there and to put some value behind what we do here, with our ideas and whatnot. But anyway, back to the NFTs. Um, the NFTs are art, right? So the what is it? The Ape Yacht Club. Pretty sure there's Ape Yacht Club, and then there's Baby Doge just came out with a few, I think, or they're coming out with a few. I saw some tweets about that. And I'll try and find all this stuff and link it to the YouTube page, and possibly even the podcast page. But anyway, NFTs are art, and going back to the gaming aspect, going back to the gaming aspect of things, I don't think they belong in a Ubisoft game. I don't think that they belong in like Assassin's Creed or
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. I don't think so. I don't think that should be there. Now, when you think of Call of Duty, you're like, well, shit, they already have practically NFTs, right? Every gun customizable, you pay for the gun. All they would have to do is restrict them to limitation. If they were restricted to limitation, you would have an NFT.
What is the Ghost Recon?
Yeah.
600 hours of Ghost Recon gets you an NFT hood. That's my thing. Like you said, and like I think I said earlier, like NFTs do give you an opportunity to mint your art if you're a artist using the internet and using modern technology as a way to create art.
Right. But taking advantage of it.
Yeah, we already have enough microtransactions in all the games that we play, and you and I have an extensive library of games that we play. I don't see how adding NFTs to that is going to add any more value. I'm not going to play Ghost Recon for 600 hours. And I don't want to pay $25 so that I can have a custom avatar or custom weapon skin. You know what I'm saying?
What I will say, back to the, I don't think that they belong in it like a Ubisoft game or Call of Duty or something like that. An MMORPG like WoW, if that had NFTs, not a game enhancement NFT, but just a cosmetic NFT, like a mount or a transmog for an armor or a staff or a weapon, not something that was OP or anything, but something that was aesthetically different than anything else in the game, and it was yours and you owned it. And it basically, what I would think that would do is, let's say
sorry,
Diversity.
yeah, create more diversity and create more like there's already people that I mean it's illegal or frowned upon get you banned, but people sell accounts and they sell things like that. So it would create like another legal and non-bannable approach to
Uh,
trading items.
right. Account value.
Right.
And so what I think would be beneficial is, let's say this, like you do a MMORPG world event and you log on at this time and you defeat this boss, you have a chance, a 1 in 10 chance of dropping this NFT weapon or this NFT mount or whatever. And let's say there's 1,000 of them. You have millions of people playing WoW. Now, that right there would give 1,000 of those accounts the opportunity to get something that's worth 100, 1,000, 10,000, $100,000 because the NFT market is so crazy. But the thing is as the NFT market evolves and grows, the NFT market is going to see less and less volatility. Right now, it's so new that the volatility on the NFT market is outrageous. That's why you see these guys like, oh, I bought this for, zero point 0.2 Ethereum or 0.02 Ethereum and it's selling for 100 Ethereum. It's like $280,000 worth of NFT for, like the cheapest ape yacht club is like $300,000 or something like that. What is it?
You're way more into the NFT stuff than I am just because I I respect what some artists are trying to do.
Bored
I'm not
Ape Yacht Club.
how much is it?
At the same moment, the cheapest available Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT on leading NFT marketplace OpenSea was 53.9 Ethereum, or about $217,000.
But how much of that goes back to the original developer?
None.
None of it.
None of that. No. What goes back to the original developer is what the person bought it when they released for. And usually that's depending on the rarity. I have seen them go from hundreds of dollars to tens of thousands of dollars. So, they could have bought it from the original developer for $10,000 and turned around and sold it for $217,000, or turned around and valued it at $217,000. But what I did see a couple days ago is that there is a avid collector of NFTs, and from what I remember, he had several $1 million worth of NFTs. He, I believe, owns some of the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, and he said that the NFT market is going to see a hefty crash soon. And
Probably, yeah.
he said that the reason for that is because of the volatility that's involved with the market right now. Because you see a lot of people see this as an opportunity to make money, and when anything is in limited quantity, the value of it goes way sky high. And I was watching a video of Gary Vaynerchuk the other day explaining a little bit about NFTs, and he said that NFTs are so unique because they can be attached to other items through the minting contract. So basically what he did is he created some NFTs that what he did is when he minted them in a contract that gave people, the rare ones gave people access to a seminar that he would be doing in 2022. So, and he explained it in a way that I forget what team he said, but he what he expects to see with the NFT market is season tickets. You purchase them through an NFT. You own an NFT, and that NFT is now in a public wallet, and people can see your public wallet online, right? Now this isn't in place yet, but Gary Vaynerchuk says that he believes that there's going to be like a Facebook for public wallets where you can get on there and you can, like eToro is like a public wallet. You can see what cryptocurrencies other people own. You can attach your wallet to theirs and basically copy trade them. and he expects something similar to come to the NFT market, not for copy trading, but to be able to see what's in other people's wallets, because NFTs are visual items. They're not physical. They're visual items. So let's say you purchase a season pass for the Dallas Stars. You have a Dallas Stars NFT with your favorite player's number in it, or your name in the Dallas Stars font or whatever, in the center of the star, and it says, season tickets, the proof of season tickets for 2022 or 2023 or whatever. And other people can see you have season tickets to the Dallas Stars because you have that NFT. And because it was written into the contract, you have access. And because it is illegal to copy and paste that NFT, it is yours.
Yeah, but people do, for instance, I used to be on iFunny, which is like the most hated app. That's what everyone says. That's the whole joke behind iFunny. But someone was complaining about the fact that someone had taken a screenshot, a screen grab of the NFT that he had and made it their user profile or something like that. So, 5,000 people use that same image and just copy paste and put it on there. So it's not tied to the blockchain, and it's not part of the official NFT. It's not minted, but I can't see the same value. Like, there's one Mona Lisa, right?
Right.
There are millions of copies, reprints of this, of that, of the other, and like you said, the more of those that you have, the less value you have in that item.
Right.
And that's why I don't understand NFTs. Like, I continued reading the article while you were talking, and it just says, Ubisoft's idea behind it is that there will be the possibility for cosmetic items to um, cosmetic items to follow between games and things like that. And so, but they say, um, that's so sweet. Sorry for that, but I just got this beautiful Valentine's Day cake hand delivered by my beautiful significant other. She's awesome. Um,
The hype man.
right, the hype woman. She's the
Yeah.
best in the world. Uh, it says cosmetic items can follow players between games. That's not something current Quartz NFTs are set up to. Quartz being their proprietary crypto platform.
Any
And it
questions?
just says, like,
Nope.
I don't want to say his name because I'm gonna butcher it. It's French. It's like Pouillard or something. Says that the interoperability question remains unanswered. So right now the core use of Quartz NFTs are in-game hats, and someone commented on it and said, it's 3 to 4 years of work for a fucking auction house, basically, right? So. And Dead Space. Dead Space is something that Ubisoft is remaking. Super excited for that. Definitely going to play it. Going to get Pyle on board to play it, even though it's a horror game, a little bit out of his wheelhouse.
That's okay.
But
That's okay.
it's ruining the hype for it. And so, people are hashtag delete Ubisoft trending on Twitter. This was yesterday, as a matter of fact, at 10 p.m. If Ubisoft loves NFTs so much, they should start paying their executives and shareholders. That's a comment someone posted on Reddit. And someone else, this is another good point. My argument, my whole thing about it is NFTs in video games. NFTs and other media, whether they destroy the environment or not, I mean, there's a whole lot of data that says it does. But with this, can I purchase games with NFTs? I don't think so. And Ubisoft goddamn well knows why.
But
That could be something cool. I mean, I know where you're going to go with this. Maybe in the future.
true, right? And instead of it being a rare NFT, you're gonna get a maybe a special edition NFT because you purchased the legendary edition of the game, or you're going to get a status holder NFT. It's not going to be a limited NFT, but instead of purchasing, because everything is digital now, right? You look at your PlayStation 5 and you're like, man, you could have bought a digital version only. But, we both have disc versions because that's what we got our hands on, right? But you can buy a digital version only.
Right.
Because everything is digital. And instead of you having the cover art for the game on your PlayStation 5, you have your NFT for the game, right? And it has, legendary edition or whatever. You get where I'm going with that. It's just
I do.
It's practically already an NFT as it is.
That's fair. I mean, you are right, which is something else that I don't completely understand about NFTs, but you've done a lot more digging into it than I have. And the NFTs, they don't necessarily um tie into the next thing that we're going to talk about, but the game industry pushing NFTs and pushing this narrative um has caused a lot of backlash and a lot of anger with longtime fans and things like that. So they have an answer to it, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these trends in the industry that are just continuing. NFTs and then everything else going on with Activision Blizzard, um, with Ubisoft, with all these trends of um, what is the word I'm looking for, Pile? Acquisitions is the word I'm looking for.
Had me beat. Not a mind reader. Far from a mind reader.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, kind of to just to kind of sum up the NFT thing, it doesn't tie into our next topic, but it does tie into our final topic of the podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll speak a little bit more on that in a little bit when we go over the metaverse. But as for that, I think we've about summed up what Ubisoft is kind of going through in this situation. The employees are basically revolting because they're not on board with the NFT regime that's kind of going on inside of the gaming industry. It looks like everybody is kind of leaning towards NFTs to make an additional bit of profit, which I think is a fantastic opportunity because it gives a visual representation of what somebody has purchased. But as you can see, and as you can see, me and Stuvix, we have differing opinions on this topic, and there's nothing wrong with being able to discuss different opinions. So, something
Just
that's
because we're friends doesn't mean we agree on everything.
exactly. And if everybody agreed on everything, the world would not evolve. It would stay exactly the same because everybody would think that it was just fine the way it is. And so without the difference in opinion and the ability to discuss the difference in opinion without sitting here and belittling one another, it's that's how a common ground gets established. But anyway, leading into our next topic, we've got here pulled up on digital trends is 2022's biggest video game reveals have been a bummer so far. Why is that? Why have 2022's biggest game reveals been a bummer so far? And I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to guess it that not really a 2022 game reveal. It was revealed a long time ago, but Battlefield 2042 released in January, correct? January, right?
January, December. I don't remember when we started playing it. Probably
Regardless,
January.
I think that it counts because it's kind of rolled into 2022 and it's probably been one of the hottest topics of 2022 as far as games go. Is the fact that what did you say the other day? You were talking. You said that there's a petition out there with like 60,000 signatures for a full refund from Battlefield
Yeah.
or EA Games. I guess it would be in that situation for EA Games to do a
Yeah.
full refund for Battlefield 2042, which I think is
Yeah, that's
absolutely well deserved.
I'm pretty sure I saw something about a Steam breaking their own return policy and offering people full refunds.
I think you told me about that. I think we talked about that a little bit, and I was a little dumbfounded that they did that. But regardless of the situation, it's something that needs to be done. In all reality, it's definitely something that needs to be done
Right.
because people don't really. I think that when something is promised, you know, when something is promised from a entity so big that they not only promise to deliver an amazing game, but they do a pretty good job of executing it up until full release. And they even delay the release multiple times, saying we're working the bugs and kinks out. And so it kind of falls back on them as creators because after promising and delaying and hyping the game up, they ended up still flunking.
Releasing a game completely full of bugs.
Right. Releasing
Which in all fairness, you and I only experienced a small handful. On, we both play on PS5.
right. On PS5 there was very minimal issues. I mean, the frame rates and whatnot like that, the game was not unplayable. I will agree with you there. It was not unplayable, but there were several times where we got into a game and it was unplayable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it was loadouts, you couldn't choose your loadouts, or whether it was actually not even being able to load into the game. But when the game was playable, this is where it's going to get a little controversial, I think. When the game was playable, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Plain and simple. It was a lot of fun to play when it was playable.
Yeah.
And something that I will also say is with the PlayStation 5, like you said, there were a lot less issues. From what I understand, PC players had a far worse experience than what we as PlayStation owners experienced. Now, we do own PCs as well, but with games being a little more optimized for consoles, even till today, games are still quite a bit more optimized for consoles. We own it on PlayStation, so I think that we got the better end of the deal. But even still, spending 60, 70, 90, 100, $120 on a video game to be full of bugs and have any sort of issues is just not extremely fair. There's no reason that we waited so long for a release, purchased the game, pre-ordered the game to get the special content.
Right.
And we waited so long for the release to have to wait even longer for it to be corrected, wait even longer for it to be fixed and actually 100% playable.
Or to get any of the content we paid for.
Right, to get any paid for.
But this, sorry to run over you there, but this is more, like Battlefield 2042, bad release, still a visually pleasing game.
Very.
Um, ties into a lot of the disappointments that are rolling into 2022. One of the big things here, that one of my big takeaways was that with Activision Blizzard, we all know they're making a new Call of Duty. One comes every year. It's on a new engine, and it's a follow up to Modern Warfare 2019's Call of Duty, which was one of my favorite modern Call of Duty. Loved Modern Warfare.
Yes, it was a fantastic game. Played the absolute shit
Yeah,
out of it on Xbox and PC.
and I'll play the absolute shit out of this one. But
If they
all
don't
these,
butcher it with NFTs, right?
right. That's so on February 11th, 1 p.m. Call of Duty enthusiast websites and content creators tell the world that Activision told them Modern Warfare 2 and a reworked Warzone with a sandbox mode are on the way. I'm pretty excited for Modern Warfare 2. Warzone's not really something I used to play it a lot. I haven't streamed any of it. Pile has either, but there was no official word from EA about any of this for about 15 minutes, or Activision. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Activision confirms them, but they do it in like the footnotes of a blog post. There's no real Crisis 4 when it was announced was a mind-bending, just absolutely confusing video that ends with it says something about like, wear the armor, be the hero or something like that. Um kind of a weird announcement, but a beautiful video that they uploaded to YouTube to tell people that the game's coming out. That's not what Activision's doing. It's it's not anything super exciting. Rockstar's announcement of GTA 6 was on an earnings call, right? Respawn's 3 new Star Wars games, sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which was another fantastic game. It
Beautiful,
was
beautiful game.
yeah, it was through a tweet and a press release. No details. Still haven't seen many details
Very
about it.
hard to work mechanics, though. I've seen people try to play that game, and the mechanics in that game are just absolutely confusing.
They can be. It took me a while to get used to it.
Yeah.
And Blizzard's working on their first new IP in like 25 years, something crazy. At least I know since yeah, I mean it had to be because Blizzard just does what, like Diablo and Warcraft, right? That's
Yeah,
what I know.
Warcraft, Diablo, there's a few others. You've got,
Overwatch,
Overwatch, StarCraft?
StarCraft, yeah. Yeah,
StarCraft,
but
StarCraft 2.
so that's that's Blizzard.
Yeah, that's
Now they're
Blizzard.
working on a survival game, right? It even calls the game unannounced in its announcement. I don't even know if they have a working title. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
No trailers, and it this on Digital Trends, says AAA games are being announced very early with minimal assets and information, making these unveils much less impactful. So it continues on talking about like for the company, um, the acquisition craze. It's all about. It seems to be about recruitment calls for the developers, which kind of makes sense. There's a lot of it seems to be getting harder for the gaming industry to get talent, to scoop talent from other companies.
And
You know, Pal-
that's because that's so now you may have been about to mention this. I don't know. But my view on that right there is super controversial, I think. And the reason I say that, and slap me if I'm wrong,
getting
whatever you want.
darker.
But the my belief behind the talent restriction is not on the company. I don't believe that it's on the company. I actually believe that that's on us as the game owners and consumers and buyers, because we don't want to play. We don't want to pay for $60 for a game. We don't want to pay 70 and 80 and $100 for a game. Otherwise, everybody and their dog would own, legendary editions. They would own this and that. But, what people don't understand is those legendary editions, they add days worth of code to a game to be able to
Right.
play with the limited edition or legendary edition armor and guns and mounts and things like that. In Destiny 2, the ships, the sparrows, the added content. It takes days to create that stuff. It takes time. It takes many people, and you got to think that the additional money you're paying there is only a fraction of what it costs to make that additional content. And so it ultimately, I think that it falls back on us as consumers and the actual game players, because what we have to understand is that we provide that financial support for these companies to be able to pay their employees properly to play these games, to create these games. And so we as game players need to understand that with the rising economy, the inflation and all of that, that these guys have to earn more. They have to be paid more. And so unfortunately that means that we may end up having to pay more for a video game, but at the same time it goes to show, like, not goes to show, that's not really the right way to say it, but it kind of falls back on us as, like, let's say we go to work every day, right? You go to work and you're doing the same work for the same pay and the prices around you are going up. What do you expect? You need a pay raise. You ask for a pay raise, you don't get a pay raise. Why is that? Because the customers are paying the same price. Well, if your company raises their prices and they can afford to give you a pay raise, there you go. That's where the pay raise comes from. Because advertising isn't getting cheaper. It's
No.
going up too. Everything's going up. The cost of electricity is going up. The cost of gas is going up. Everything's going up. So why in the world would we expect video game prices to stay the same? Now, you're going to sit here and you're probably going to rebuttal that with, well, everything's digital. Okay, understood. So they make one copy, a mother copy, if you will, a principal copy that they can copy as many times as they want, deliver it to as many customers as they want. Yeah, saves gas, saves shipping, saves transportation, saves you have no logistics involved in that situation. I mean, there are some logistics involved because you still have to deliver the game in some form or fashion. But the thing is like, when you look at it from a consumer's perspective, you don't see all of those aspects in a business. All you see is, I want the game, I pay for the game, and I don't want to pay more than this for the game. I don't think it's worth more than this for the game. But we get a game that's not very well established. We get a game that's kind of glitchy. We get a game that's this and that. We expect a full refund.
You
Maybe,
get
just maybe, you get a better game because you paid a better price.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Sheesh, that's a topic.
I love Cyberpunk though, and it has come a long way in the last year with the updates.
You
Still waiting on the next gen, but
you want to bring a game up that started this kind of this
right,
issue?
that's my
There we
point.
go.
I've
Yeah.
noticed a downward trend in video game. Um,
And who was this created by? This was created by Project Red, right?
yeah, CD Projekt Red made, they're famous for The Witcher, incredible game, visually stunning, came
Beautiful
out, had
game for its time.
right, and it's getting a next gen update for the PS5, Xbox Series X.
I've heard.
It had phenomenal graphics, a great story, and a lot of great free DLC content that was released over time. That's all besides the point. The point that I'm trying to make is, to me personally, Cyberpunk 2077, after that, I've just seen like a downward trend in a lot of big AAA titles that come out where they're not finished. Battlefield, like you talked about, is a great example. Whatever's going on with Call of Duty Warzone right now, like I enjoy Vanguard. I thought it's pretty all right. It's not terrible. It's cool. It's not super cool that they went back to World War II. I know it's
Not
returning to
nearly
season
as
three.
good as Modern Warfare 2, though.
No,
Not nearly as good. That game
so
just operated so smooth. The graphics weren't, they're Call of Duty. The graphics weren't mind blowing or anything. They were good, but the mechanics of Modern Warfare 2, even though these newer games were developed on the same engine, the mechanics were different. Like, I heard a lot of people tell me that Cold War was like an arcade game. It was like,
this
it
I
it
hate Cold War.
it was, I mean, in my opinion, absolutely trash. But continuing down the line on the same engine, you would think the mechanics would be the same. The mechanics would
Right.
operate the same, but no, they didn't. And it even furthered with Vanguard. And Vanguard, they revamped the mechanics a little bit, and it was closer to Modern Warfare 2 than Cold War was, but it still wasn't where Modern Warfare was. Modern Warfare
No.
was just so smooth. It was very, very well put together. It worked very smoothly. It was just really, it had its flaws, and something else to get into, not really to get into now, but the hacking. Holy shit, the hacking has made Warzone an absolute shit show. That's why you won't catch me or Stuvik streaming that dead or alive. So I'm not trying to get into a game. Not only that I'm not that, and I haven't played it enough to be good at, but I'm not going to get into a game that I'm going to get shit on by somebody that isn't even good. There's if you're good, you wouldn't hack.
Right.
Plain and simple. If you're good, you wouldn't hack. So, I mean, and
Right.
if you're just hacking because you're bored, then honestly, you're the piece of shit that needs to be banned permanently and IP banned, preferably. IP banned.
So
Fucking trash ass.
to kind of before Pyle gets like completely lost in his hatred for hackers, to
Yeah, for
kind of
real.
wrap this whole thing up, this article was by Thomas Francisi. He kind of ends his article by saying like he's not frustrated because he's not getting those flashy reveals. The announcements seem focused on drip feeding minimal amounts of info so that studios can drive up profits, circumvent criticism, and please investors without sharing anything of substance. Which is kind of like a big take home for me. If you're going to drip feed these and earning calls so that you make more money, your company looks more profitable, and talent that wouldn't otherwise come to your studio is now going to leave whatever studio they're working on, whatever great games they're creating to come there to work on that. That's a lose for everybody. I don't need the
Absolutely.
flashy reveals, but I don't know. I don't like this drip feeding. Of course, it probably helps with leaks. I mean, leaks are a dime a dozen everywhere all the time. You all right, pal?
No, dying. That was bad. But yes, no, I completely agree with the drip feeding. The drip feeding isn't going to stop. I can guarantee you it's not going to stop. Unfortunately, I got to get rid of this. This is like right in my fucking line of sight.
Yeah, that's
But
the.
yeah, it's my pop filter. I can't handle it anymore. I keep seeing it in the stream and I'm like, I can get rid of that, and then there goes my microphone just slowly hovering up into the air. But anyway, the drip feeding's not going to stop, unfortunately, because that's that's a new scheme for companies to use to make a profit. That's just
And it's gonna Ricky Bobby its way right out of there. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Please, man. Okay.
So while Pyle sorts that out, you know,
I think
we're gonna try to bring it back up for you guys. Or actually, no, we're gonna take it further down, and
further down the rabbit hole.
this is more. Um, I haven't read this entire article yet, so I don't have a whole lot about it. I'm sure
No,
Pyle does, but
this one's quite a bit. This one's
oh
pretty
my
new,
god,
actually. This one was published yesterday, at 6:58 a.m. Eastern Time yesterday, February the 11th, 2022, by Tom Warren. It's on TheVerge.com.
I
Is
love The
where
Verge.
we can find it. Yeah, it's a beautiful website. Looks like they're sponsored by Verizon, which is Verizon, even though Verizon, hit me up if you ever hear this, but you're absolute dog shit.
I used to work for Verizon, so I have no comments.
If you can hear this, if you know what's going on, well, I do have to say this: I use AT&T Uverse for my internet, and it's not their fault, but their 50 meg plan trash. The fact that you get unlimited internet when you purchase fiber, and it's only $20 more a month than their 50 meg plan, and you get 1,000 gigs to use
You get
on your
1
50
gig
meg
to
plan.
use.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry.
yeah. So you get unlimited on their fiber plan, but if you
You do.
purchase the 50 meg plan, you don't get unlimited, which is absolutely fucking trash because you're getting slower internet with a cap. Tell me how that fucking makes sense, AT&T. Okay. Anyway, rant over. Verizon, you are better than AT&T in that aspect. I will give you that. But until you can figure out this 5G shit, don't come at me. Anyway, solid state drive prices could spike after Western Digital loses 6.5 billion gigabytes, also known as 6.5 exabytes of NAND chips, due to a contamination issue. Now, as Stuvik said, we haven't read through this one completely yet because we literally just added this probably 10 minutes before we started the podcast because it looked super interesting. And because
Super
it's
prepared.
yeah, exactly. We're extremely prepared. I've got a task list on my phone that I pay 110 -% to. Um anyway. No, so but yes, it is due to a contamination issue. The contamination could see the price of NAND, the main component of SSDs, spike up to 10%. And if you don't already know, solid state drives are not very cheap. A good solid state drive, I've got a 1 terabyte in my PC and it costed me like $80. It's not even the high end one. The 1 terabytes can go up to like $400. Probably even more than that, but their read write speeds and things like that, they're all most of that is mainly due to the NAND chips inside the solid state drives that give them the capability of being 10 to 100 times faster than a standard hard drive. That's why all of your phones and your PlayStation and your Xbox X, Series X, and your high-end PCs, MacBooks, and things like that all run off a solid state drive because it's so fast. How phones get rid of the load delays on popping up apps and things is because they all run that through the solid state drive. But anyway,
Hey, Pyle.
yeah,
You know what I'm just now realizing now that I'm
what's
looking
that?
at this article? The WD Black, the Western Digital Black. This is one of the like main solid state drives that Sony actually recommends to work in the PS5.
Yep.
So that's super unfortunate if you're looking to expand your PS5 internal storage. You might want to buy one now.
Pretty quick. Yeah. Um,
This one's pretty short though. This article is pretty short.
yeah, this article's super. Um, But
I love the
check out the
ending of it.
YouTube. Check out the YouTube page because there will more than likely be an affiliate link to purchase these uh, at a even possibly discounted rate. So check out the YouTube page, and I'll get that set up so that you guys can find a link to purchase these as soon as possible, so that you're not caught with your pants down when they do spike, because a 10% increase means $20-$40. But anyway,
Or more.
yeah, or more. But anyway, the contamination of materials used in the manufacturing process appears to have been detected in late January at 2 plants in Japan with Western Digital's joint venture partner Cloxia. Cloxia, that's previously Toshiba. There you go. Revealing it has affected BICS 3D NAND flash memory, and the flash memory is why SSD is so fast, is because it's flash read write. Western Digital and Kioxia's partnership amounts to around 30% of the NAND flash market. Oh, shit. According to that's a big chunk, dude.
Yeah, that's a big
According to
chunk.
TrendForce, both Western Digital and Kioxia primarily supply SSD and eMMC storage drives for PCs. eMMC, I'm pretty sure, is the main component in laptops. I'm not positive on that, so don't hold me to that. Don't come at me, please. And Western Digital is one of the leading suppliers in the industry. It's not clear what caused the contamination, whether products on the market will need to be recalled, or when production will resume. Western Digital says it's working closely with its joint venture partner, Kioxia, to necessary measures that will restore the facility. But anyway, I'm not going to read.
You did read the entire article.
But yeah, anyway, it's not clear what caused the contamination. That's really interesting. I don't understand, because you look at you see like a house fire, right? You look at a house fire and you get a fire marshal out there, and they can narrow it down to what started that fire based off of experience. And you're telling me that with millions of people in an industry, there's not one person that can do that? I guarantee you there's one person that can do that. They just don't want to say what the contamination was from, more than likely.
Right.
Especially if it was a higher up that made the call and became the issue. Yeah. That's the kicker, usually. But anyway, keep an eye out for the affiliate link on the YouTube page, so that you can get your flash storage or your SSD before the prices spike. Because this is only a day old news. And, as soon as these bigger companies see news going out, they're going to be like, oh shit, now we have an excuse to raise our prices, even maybe more than 10%. So,
Supply and
yeah,
demand, supply and demand.
exactly. World's going to end, the price of water goes up.
But now, for the creme de la creme, your insanity.
The metaverse.
Something. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through this article and kind of reading about it, and
Now, guys, understand, as Duvix told me before we started the podcast, that we needed to touch on the metaverse last because the talking points. And yeah, there's a lot. This one's a long one.
this one, yeah, and reading through this, it's not like this isn't too bad. It kind of explains what the metaverse is to people like me who've heard the term 9 million times, have a basic understanding of it. But it just kind of breaks down. This article from VentureBeat talks about what they think
And
the
that's
metaverse is, and why no one can agree on it.
and this is venturebeat.com. This is where the article's from. Let me scroll up here to see who wrote this article. Philip
It says it was
Martinson.
contributed by Philip Martinson, co-founder and COO of Morales.
Morales. You know what Morales is? I don't, but if you do, comment in the YouTube video when we upload it. Comment there and let us know what Morales is, because it looks like he did a pretty thorough job as far as explaining the metaverse. But it feels like you can't move right now without hearing someone or something saying something about the metaverse, and that is for damn sure, because the metaverse is everywhere. Facebook changing their name to Meta. I actually like the name Meta. You know, with the whole atmosphere around Facebook changing the name to Meta. I think it is actually a pretty smart business move because Facebook has been a big leader in a lot of things. I don't agree with the whole um, security not security, but the information compromise, the way that they've been gathering information on people for years and years. I don't agree with that. That's why Zuckerberg is in the situation that he's in with the whole court case and whatnot. But that's not something. Philip Martinson wrote this article, and it was published today at 6:40 a.m. It says the metaverse could drive the next big tech opportunity, and I firmly, firmly stand behind that 100%. I've actually talked to Stubix here about looking into, and one of the reasons why I was looking into creating NFTs, one of the reasons why is because of the metaverse. Metaverse is be a big, big deal. And if you've watched movies like Ready Player One, or what's that other movie? It's the cartoon movie with all the people wearing the headsets, and it's like large people wearing the headsets laid up
About
on
Wally?
couches. Maybe I
Yeah,
haven't seen that
Wally when he
movie in
gets on the
forever.
ship. There's another good one, Total Recall.
Haven't seen that one.
Uh,
Haven't seen.
so the original one's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the new one's Colin. Anyway, basically he's having a bad day. He goes into this place where they either inject you in a drug. You sit in a chair and you experience a different reality.
Hmm.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's super interesting. It's a really good movie. You should definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. But it's I just learned where the term metaverse came from a 1992 novel, Snow Crash. These people jump back and forth between reality and the virtual world. It was written by Neil Stevenson.
But what I will say is Mr. Neil Stevenson fucking nailed it, because metaverse, in the few short months that the metaverse has been being talked about openly in the public, and thoroughly in the public as well, it has become a extremely hot topic. And I don't think that there is one person out there that can say the metaverse is the wrong name for it, because
Might have gone with multiverse.
yeah, but when I think multiverse, I think multiple
Mm,
universes.
yeah,
That's kind
Marvel, DC, superheroes, and
yeah, Marvel, DC, multiverse type thing, right? But when I see metaverse, I see a change in the universe. When I see like upgrade, that's what it makes me think of when I hear metaverse. So it fits in my head. It fits. That's just for me. But um, there's no, as it states here, there is no one technology underpinning the metaverse. Broadly, the technologies that will make it up will include blockchain, cryptocurrencies, virtual and augmented reality, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, which the Internet of Things I've heard a lot as well. I don't know exactly what the Internet of Things stands for as a saying, but obviously the Internet is of
it's
many things. So
yeah, it's the official name of the internet, isn't it? Or the interwebs.
yeah, I mean, if it is, it is. I didn't
I've
know that.
I've Googled the term before.
I need to be better about
Um,
that because it would be very useful in podcasting topics to talk about. To know
you you tease me at work for the fact that I'm on my phone all the time, like reading articles and looking up stuff, and
the human
that's what I'm
encyclopedia. Human
try to be.
encyclopedia. Stuvix132, human encyclopedia.
Yeah.
The name is Pyle, the human mixer. I always mix my shit up.
Man, the gaming industry. Um, but going back to what you're talking about, right? You know, the technologies that are in the metaverse, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, virtual and augmented reality, artificial intelligence, the internet. Those there's a lot there, right? And that's why everyone has a different explanation for it. That's why no one can come up with one answer for what the metaverse is. Um, and again, the article says, it's better to think about the future metaverse as a collection of different worlds built on blockchains. Um, and further about how it's going to be divided. Meta will have one, Google will have one, Microsoft, Sony may have one. Sony loves their exclusivity and keeping things in house. So we'll see. They're a little late to the bandwagon. Nintendo always trailing behind, but with the greatest innovation. So we'll see how all that goes. But it's just super interesting articles that we've read. And like I said, not that we're wrapping up right now, but if you want to read these articles firsthand to see things that maybe Paul and I didn't say, check out our Flipboard,
Yeah,
which I both
check out our Flipboard, and you're
what?
um one of the guys we work with, Perry, sent me
Mhm.
tried to FaceTime me. If anybody heard my phone ring, I'm sure you did. Um,
Actually didn't.
Phenomenal. But had you heard my phone ring, he was trying to FaceTime me because he got a new car. And
Oh,
I want to go ahead and applaud
congratulations.
him. Congratulations. He has been working really hard, learning really fast, and I'm proud of the kid. I'm really proud of the kid. I taught him a lot that he knows. He has been extremely supportive in this venture me and Stuvix132 have been taking. Um,
You don't have to say the 132 every time, bro.
well, I know I don't. It's habit at this point, my guy. It's fuck. But anyway, I just wanted to applaud Mr. Perry on getting him a new vehicle. It looks like he got a Lexus, if I'm not correct.
Nice.
No, actually, I think that might be a Ford.
Well,
Let me see. He sent me multiple pictures.
while he's looking at those pictures, I want to
It
tell you something interesting.
the Lexus,
Nice.
beautiful car.
Um, Something interesting about the gaming industry being the fastest growing media entertainment category by revenue. Right, I did not know that it raked in $180 billion, which was double that of the movie industry. I understand the movie industry is struggling right now with ongoing pandemic, but the fact that the gaming industry made that much and has 3 billion regular participants worldwide. We all know it spans multiple devices. If you play games on mobile, I guess you're a gamer, but
I guess, yeah, maybe. Eh. No,
you know,
it definitely counts. It definitely counts. I played a lot of good mobile video games. Personal favorites are like Real Racing 3. That's a really good mobile racing game. If you haven't played it, look into it. It's a really beautiful game,
oh,
especially if you have like an iPad or an iPhone or something like that. Haven't played it on a
right.
Samsung, so I can't speak on that, but I'm sure it looks phenomenal on those as well.
It does.
Um,
It does.
But anyway, besides that, mobile game definitely counts. If you're a mobile gamer and you're here listening to our podcast, Stuvix is definitely not making a harp at you. He's just joking. But not to be a dick, right? Not to
No,
be
not to be a dick.
his most famous
Never to
saying.
be a dick.
His most famous saying. Sure, as you guys tune into the podcast, you're gonna love hearing him say that because he's
I'm gonna say it,
he's
especially
gonna
to
say
Pyle.
what's on his mind. He's always gonna say what's on his mind, and he will always say not to be a dick, but and then proceed to criticize the shit out of you. No, just
Sorry.
kidding. He's not bad about
Sorry,
it.
not sorry, bro.
Right. Without constructive criticism, we would never be where we want to be. But anyway, that is a super interesting statistic there that they raked in $180 billion with 3 billion regular participants.
Right.
And current predictions suggest the value of in-game purchases will surpass $74.4 billion by 2025. I personally think that it'll probably break that. If NFTs are introduced to games, it will break that this. If NFTs are introduced to video games, it'll break that this year, because if NFTs are introduced into games as in-game purchases, it will well over surpass 74 billion this year. But if you look at one of the biggest announcements in gaming of 2022, the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard at $69 billion. A lot of people, super controversial actually, because a lot of people look at that as a monopolistic move. Me and Stuvix were talking about this the other day at work, and I kind of mentioned the fact that it sounds like a monopolistic move in my opinion, and I did a little bit of reading and a little bit of looking, and some people are concerned that it could be a monopolistic move because of the fact that they can now say, hey, Call of Duty is an Xbox exclusive. They have the power to do that. Now, they've stated that they're not going to do that. They've stated that I actually read an article yesterday, and it states that they're going to leave it as is, and they actually may be introducing some games to Nintendo as well. Some of the bigger AAA titles to Nintendo as well. The Switch and Pro are coming out. But anyway, let's move on a little bit further down into this article.
Covered the like the fashion, retail, and social media aspects of NFT, and how something that I didn't even think about, but they kind of brought up, is if you lose access to your account, you don't own the avatar skin that you buy in Fortnite, right? Hold it on license from the company. If you lose your save data, you lose the skin. There's no record way to retrieve it, right? But NFTs, you own it. So if you do lose access to your account, you still have a blockchain or a way of getting back the item that you purchased. And then just talking about what impact will be on businesses.
Go ahead and end the podcast. We're going to go ahead and end it here. But yeah, hopefully that was a pretty good topic to tie everything together in the end. Spoke on some games, some NFTs, the Metaverse, and all that good stuff. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube page. Make sure that you check out our Flipboard, because we do plan on keeping that updated with all the podcast info. We're going to be digging through that on the daily to find new things and whatnot to talk to you guys about. Also, if you have any ideas, whatsoever, feel free to comment on the YouTube videos and let us know what you think. If you like something, let us know. If you dislike something, also let us know. Like the videos, dislike the videos. We don't care. Engagement is engagement. Because if there's something you dislike, at least comment and let us know what you disliked. At least let us know, because the only way we're going to improve is by fixing the things that you don't like. But anyway, with that being said, we got some more things to take care of. We're going to go ahead and call it a night there. Stu, do you have anything to add to that?
Man, you wrapped it up pretty well. I mean, just if you do enjoy what you're seeing, you can always check us out on our other things, like you said, Stuvix132 on YouTube, and the name is Pile on Twitch. But if you dislike something, if you really, really dislike it, let us know so we can talk about it again.
Yeah, of course. We can definitely hit it with a little bit more detail, whatever we want to do. But what you laughing about, man?
Oh, nothing. I mean, maybe if they dislike something and we talk about it again, and kind of hone in on it,
Yeah,
we can educate them a little more.
right. Educate them from our standpoint a little bit more. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. We enjoyed making the content. I actually enjoyed this more than I enjoy streaming.
Yeah, it's a lot less nerve-wracking sometimes.
Yeah, I think that this was I really liked this. I really enjoyed this. I had a really good time talking about all this stuff, and it's got me feeling really optimistic about the future and what we're trying to do here. But for those of you that don't know, this podcast is brought to you by the two co-owners and co-creators of #BeBetter, and the name is Pyle on Twitch, Stuvix132 on YouTube, as Stuvix said just a second ago. And yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. We appreciate you listening, watching, reading, enjoying, and let us know what you think. Bye, guys.
Have a great night.